What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Colin Brandon, and we just talk sports here. Specifically college sports. Today, we are breaking down the national championship. We have the championship field set. We got Ohio State, Alabama. Who saw it coming? Not me. I did not see this coming. Hey, but before we get into it, if you guys are new here, please smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, or other way around. Either way is fine. Or if you guys want to wait until the end of the video, that is totally okay too. I'm a big body of work guy. You haven't seen my body of work yet. You don't know if I deserve it. You can wait till the end and we'll see what happens. All right. And if you like it, then please hit the thumbs up. Hit that subscribe. It really goes a long way. And I thank you so much for how good you guys have been with it so far. You've been awesome. If you're here from TikTok, make sure to drop it in the comments. I love to know where my people are from. Let's get into it. So, Ohio State, Alabama. This is a series with some history, okay? It's a rematch of the first ever college football playoff game. And when Ohio State won that one. All-time Alabama is up 3-1, which you Ohio fans should be okay with, because that's a number that has a little bit of a historical significance when it comes to sports in the greater Ohio area. Ohio State this year has played. Well, actually, before we get into that, Ohio State is also undefeated against Alabama in the college football playoff. With their only win in the series being in the college football playoff, the inaugural year. Ohio State's been playing some phenomenal defense this year against the rush. Or at least lately against the rush. They held Clemson to 2 yards of rush. That was awesome. And they're going to need to do that against Alabama. OSU, on the other hand, they did let up 400 yards through the air to a pretty decent Clemson offense. But they played more than well enough to win that game. We saw they destroyed Clemson. So I'm okay with that. If they can do that to Alabama, if they hold Alabama to 2 yards of rush and then only let them 400 yards through the air, I think Ohio State will win in that situation. Trey Sermon, man, that dude's been an X factor lately. He has been balling out. Against Northwestern, he had 331 rush yards. And against Clemson, he had 193 yards rushing as well as 60 through the air. Dude, he has just been balling lately, and that has absolutely been amazing for Ohio State. And you guys should be pumped because you have a run game. Through most of the season, we didn't think you had a run game, but now it looks like your run game might be, the best since Ezekiel Elliott. And I'm not saying that, necessarily with utter seriousness, but your run game lately has looked awesome. That is the bottom line of that. Against Alabama, teams with explosive plays have been able to have some success. We saw Ole Miss put up some numbers. We saw Florida put up some numbers. This Ohio State offense, I think, is probably better than both those two teams. Florida's offense might be, I don't know. Florida was one-dimensional when it came to the pass game. They did not necessarily have a rush game like Ohio State has developed recently. So Ohio State may have a better offense than both those teams. Ohio State's offense, I've never said is bad. It was their defense I thought was suspect. And lately their defense has been playing phenomenal. So, between how well, I think Ohio State can play offensively, and I think that they can stay with Alabama if it turns into a shootout. Defensively, I do give Alabama the edge, but Ohio State has proved, against Clemson that, Ohio State is a good defensive team. Now, I don't know, could Clemson have been frauds? I really don't think so. That's the question I asked, was Clemson, were they frauds? I genuinely think that team was pretty good. I'm not sure that their offensive line or defensive line was, up to par with past Clemson teams. In fact, it wasn't near as good as past Clemson teams on either side of the line of scrimmage. But they still had some good players, and they're still a good team. And Ohio State beat a good team. I like Ohio State right now. I do, and it hurts to say because I'm a diehard Ohio State hater. If you guys have not figured that out yet. I really don't like him. I've been mean to him all season. So for that, I apologize. I apologize if you guys are new, or if you guys have come from my other Ohio State hate videos and you're here. I wouldn't necessarily call them hate videos. There's Ohio State videos, me explaining why they're not as good. But they proved me wrong. I was wrong. I apologize. And we're here now, and you guys are playing some good football. I'm not going to deny that. Fields looked really good against Clemson. He got banged up a little bit, but he looked really good and still played good even after that. I don't know if that's going to be a big issue. I have not heard anything this week, but he stayed in the game after it and played well after it, so I am not too concerned about it. Alabama does have a little bit better defense, a lot better defense probably than what Clemson does, when it comes to the pass game. So I'm looking for Ohio State to maybe open it up on the ground a little bit. Use Trey Sermon, use that run game that's been really successful. And try to get something going there, and then go to the pass game, because teams have proved that they can throw in Alabama. And even though, like I said, that they're better than Clemson in the secondary, you can still expose it. Like they're not perfect this year. They got they do have some weapons back there, but they're not like Alabama teams of the past. Not really anywhere near it in my opinion. So between Bama being better on both sides of the line of scrimmage than Clemson was, they while Ohio State did shut down Travis Etienne, I think shutting down Najee is going to be a little harder because one, the guys up front are a little bit better than Clemson's guys up front. And Najee Harris, he was playing better ball than Etienne. Like Etienne, I still think that Etienne's an underrated running back, and I think he might be better than Najee. But Najee, he had an amazing year this year, and he's playing some amazing football right now. So right as it stands, he's a better running back than Etienne. I'm not going to deny that. And so he's going to be a handful. And Ohio State's going to have a hard time shutting that down and a hard time keeping the pass game in check at the same time. But if they can effectively, take away one of the options and hold them maybe to a 2 yards rushing or similar to it, it doesn't even have to be 2 yards rushing. They can hold them to like even 4 yards rushing would be better than what he's doing. Najee's a beast. He really is. And if they can shut down that run game and limit it to only passing, like Alabama's still deadly if they're forced to only pass. Especially with Jalen Waddle, because on top of all the weapons that Bama already has, I hear Jalen Waddle might be coming back. Oh, man, because now Waddle, Mechie, Smith. Sorry, I mentioned Smith so late. He's probably going to win the Heisman. Najee Harris, Mac Jones. Like, offensively, their skill positions are loaded. And, you take away one weapon, they have three other guys that could torch you on any given play. And that's not necessarily something that Clemson had. Clemson, Trevor Lawrence is a dog. They had some good receivers. Cornell Powell had a big game. Amari Rodgers was good too, but they're not even close to any of the weapons that Alabama has. And while I think that Mac Jones is not as good as Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones was in the Heisman conversation for most of the year. Like the dude is no scrub, not in the least. So Ohio State is going to have their hands full, but you know what? I just mentioned that Ohio State's been playing the best football they've been playing all year. They're looking like they do belong. But guys, I got to go with Alabama. Like, this is a team that has proved it over the entire season that they can do this, okay? And like I said, we don't necessarily know if Clemson was fraudulent or not. Again, I don't think they were. Ohio State got a hard-fought one. They won big. But you're telling me that, like, this team, like, in order to win, Ohio State has to shut down Najee Harris. They have to shut down this potent pass game that, like, on any play it could go for 90 yards. Like, they have huge playability. I do not necessarily see that happening because while Clemson did step up and they played great defense, it's going to be a little bit harder against Bama. Bama's, I think, is going to prove that once again that they're the best team in college football. They are one of the most balanced teams. They got weapons everywhere, and while on defense they are not their normal Bama selves, they're good enough to keep them in it and be able to rely on their pretty fun offense. I think it's going to be a closer game than either of the semifinals were, but it could still end up in Bama running away with it, running away with a multiple score win. But guys, you Ohio State fans, you're feeling pretty good right now, right? Even though I just said that I think that Alabama's going to win, you guys are used to being doubted. It's a good spot to be in, being the underdog. You proved that you play well with a chip on your shoulder. You did it when you were ranked 4th in the very first college football playoff. You're undefeated against Alabama. Like, you got these things going for you. Hey, and last time that you guys played Alabama, in 2015 Sugar Bowl, Ohio State had a dude that rushed for 230 yards. That man was Ezekiel Elliott. I think Trey Sermon is more than capable of doing that. Like, it realistically could happen that Trey Sermon goes off for 230 yards in the national championship game. If that happens, it's going to do amazing things for the pass game between Olave, Wilson, Fields. Dude, we even see the tight ends getting involved against Clemson. They're balling out as well. Like, you didn't see these guys all season necessarily. Or at least I didn't, because when I watch it, I'm watching Olave, Wilson, the best two guys on the field. Best weapons on the outside. Ohio State's more than capable of winning. Like, I gotta admit that they are. But Alabama's a proven formula. They've done it over and over and over again, and that's why I like them to win. But Ohio State fans, don't take that as you guys don't have a chance. You guys have more than enough chance. You never lost to Alabama in the playoff, and you got as good a shot as any right now. You guys are playing your best football, proving that you belong in this. When a lot of haters like myself didn't give you guys a chance. So it should be a fun game. Should be an awesome game come Monday night. And if you're a part of either of these teams' fan bases, enjoy it because it's going to be a lot of fun. Until then, make sure to like, subscribe, go check out my other videos. If you're here from TikTok, I appreciate you. If you're not, go check out my TikTok if you got one because we have a lot of fun over there too. All right, until then, I'm taking suggestions in the comments, and we'll see you next time.